StadionDB.com presents Ranking of Ekstraklasa Stadiums for the 2021-2022 season. Hi there! We've ranked all 18 Ekstraklasa stadiums for you, from the smallest to the largest. Before we start, we'd like to ask you to support our channel by clicking the subscribe button and leaving thumbs up. Also, ring the bell to never miss a new video. And now, without further delay, let's start. 18th place, Stadion Broni Radom, capacity 4,500, Radomiak Radom. Returning after 36 years, Radomiak has a big stadium problem. Construction is 3 years behind schedule already. Together with the municipality, they managed to upgrade the home of their arch-rivals, Stadion Broni. To make this possible, capacity of the facility was increased from 4,066 to roughly 4,500. Additionally, under-soil heating was commissioned. Stadion Broni consists of 2 twin stands along the pitch, which is surrounded by an athletics track. There is also a small tubular stand behind one of the goals. 17th place, Stadion Bruk-Bet, capacity 4,666. Bruk-Bet Termalika Nieciecza. The venue belongs to the club, which plays its games in a village of just 700 inhabitants. In 2015, the stadium was thoroughly revamped, with fans coming entirely from the owners. Its capacity now exceeds the population 6 times to meet league regulations. 2 stands were built along the playing field, as well as external walls forming the facade. Lighting masts towering over the neighborhood were also installed. In the 2017-2018 season, the ground was shared by Bruk-Bet and Sandecja. 16th place, Stadion Dyskobolii, capacity 5,383, Warta, Poznań. It's the second consecutive season for Warta at the stadium in Grodzisk, Wielkopolski, as Poznań's Ogródek is far below requirements. The most iconic feature of the ground is the historic West Stand, the structure of which is largely based on wood. In 1996 to 2003, the biggest changes in the stadium's appearance took place. On the east side, a new main stand was created, as well as sectors behind the goals and on the sides of the West Stand. In the past, big clubs such as Hertha Berlin and Manchester City came to Grodzisk to play European Cups fixtures against Górnik Dyskobolii, now defunct. 15th place, Stadion Rakowa, capacity 5,500, Raków, Częstochowa. The facility is to be put to use in August, well behind schedule. Ekstraklasa's minimum capacity is 4,500, which should be met with ease, as some 5,500 seats are being installed in Częstochowa. The venue consists entirely of tubular stands, which, according to city officials, are only a temporary solution. Unfortunately, the stadium's aesthetics is below Ekstraklasa standards. 14th place, Stadion Stali Mielec, capacity 6,863, Stal, Mielec. Completed in 2013, the facility was created after the demolition of upper tiers and much of the lower levels of the old stadium, which was too large for the club and had long been past its heyday. What was left from the old stadium was incorporated into the new venue. At this point, the arena consists of 2 single-tier covered stands along the playing field, surrounded by a blue athletics track. In the corners, there are lighting masts, remnants of the former ground. 13th place, Stadion Górnika Łęczna, capacity 7,456, Górnik Łęczna. It owes its present shape to the expansion from early 21st century. The first stand to be built was a covered west stand consisting of 2 separate structures on both sides of the club building. The next one was north stand. At the end, the body of the stadium was finally shaped by a roofed east stand. There is no auditorium on the south side, as there is an indoor hall and a small hotel. Yellow clinker brickwork makes the facility feel cozier. 12th place, Stadion Piasta Gliwice, capacity 10,037, Piast Gliwice. It's an almost identical copy of the facility built in 2008 in Paderborn, Germany. In the summer of 2011, this simple prefabricated structure was ready. It's somewhat maliciously referred to by some as a supermarket. Meanwhile, the opaque roof, compact shape of the building, and built-up space between stands and canopy allow fans to create a lively atmosphere. If necessary, it's possible to expand the ground to 15,000 seats with a reasonable financial outlay. 11th place, Stadion Cracovii, capacity 14,572, Cracovia. The stadium building is not high, as it was agreed at the design stage that the venue cannot obscure the panorama of the Wawel Royal Castle. That is why the architects proposed one-level stands, which are gradually ascending. The lowest ones are located on the border with Broni Park. The simple form of the facility refers to other designs by Spain's Estudio Lamela and uses the motif of stripes, symbolically referring to the nickname of Cracovia. There is a terrace with a playground for children within the west stand. 10th place, Stadion Kazimierza Górskiego, capacity 15,000, Wisła, Płock. The arena is currently under construction, which should conclude by the end of 2022. What will set the stadium apart from others is the creative use of blinds as outer cladding. They are to be horizontal on the west facade, vertical on the east, and transitioning from one to the other behind goals. The auditorium will consist of one continuous level of seats for approximately 15,000 people. The front row is to be elevated, awarding everyone a better overview of the field. 9th place, Stadion Zagłębia, capacity 16,086, Zagłębie, Lubin. The new ground was initially planned to stand inside the old stadium. Ultimately, decision was made to demolish the entire earth embankment around the pitch, where old tribunes used to stand. There was also a shift of the pitch in relation to the old venue by almost 20 meters. The arena has a simple prefab structure. Its quick assembly meant that the first 3 stands were ready at the end of 2008 and the last one, the main stand, in mid-2010. They are all single-tier and covered with roof. 8th place, Stadion Floriana Krygiera, capacity 20,500, Pogoń, Szczecin. Currently it's under construction, the completion of which is planned for the first half of 2022. In 2017, as a result of a designer change, the concept of the stadium's appearance was modified. Aside from the south side, the roof will no longer allow light to pass through, and the entire building will be covered with black mesh. Previously, such facades had not been planned. The auditorium will be made up of single-tier stands. As of this video's premiere, half of the stands are ready, offering up to 8,990 seats for the first games. 7th place, Stadion Jagiellonii, capacity 22,372, Jagiellonia, Białystok. Consultations with fans resulted in the stadium having 2-tier stands only along the pitch. Behind the goals, they form one level that helps to cheer their team exuberantly. A special feature of the facility is the combination of aesthetics and engineering. Thanks to the white and orange roof supports, the reinforced concrete body does not require a special facade. The structure itself is eye-catching with 2-colored steel elements that contrast with the raw concrete hidden behind them. Once again, we encourage you to leave a sub, thumbs up and ring the bell. This ensures that you won't miss any of the future videos, and it's also a significant help in developing our channel. 6th place, Arena Zabrze, capacity 24,563, Górnik Zabrze. The ground consists of 3 new stands with 2 tiers. The 4th one, which was to serve as the main stand, is yet to be built. In its place there is an old tribune, which is a remnant of the former stadium. It's practically unused at the moment, as most facilities were transferred to the east side. It's the second largest venue in Upper Silesia, right after Stadion Śląski. Fifth place, Stadion Wojska Polskiego, capacity 30,967, Legia Warszawa. The unique roof covered with membrane and the reconstructed facade of the main stand are both hallmarks of this stadium, partially opened in 2010. Of course, at the new ground there is Żyleta, that is, the stand occupied by the most vocal fans. However, it was moved from the east to the north in relation to the previous stadium. Position of the stands in relation to the old stadium has not changed. The pitch was only slightly shifted to the southeast compared to the state before reconstruction. Fourth place, Stadion Henryka Reymana, capacity 33,113, Wisła, Kraków. It's the fourth stadium in the club's history and first to be built in the very same spot the former one used to occupy. In the beginning, single-tier stands behind the goals were created. Both became recognizable thanks to the massive reinforced concrete structure. They were designed too wide, however, so stands along the pitch had to be built as much as 17 meters away from it. The tribunes behind goals are also clearly smaller than the rest. The brutalist architecture of the stadium caused controversy among many fans. Third place, Polsat Plus Arena, capacity 41,620, Lechia Gdańsk. Its appearance resembles amber, often called the gold of the Baltic, and the facility itself shimmers on sunny days with shades of bright and warm colors. This was achieved thanks to 18,000 polycarbonate plates which reflect natural light during the day and are bright at night when lit from within. Two-tier stands are surrounded by a self-supporting roof structure connected to the facade. Due to appeal of Lechia fans, the auditorium was equipped with a mosaic of green seats in the colors of the club. Most of the stadium's facilities are located within the West Stand. 4 Euro 2012 matches were held at the stadium, including the Germany-Greece quarter-final. Second place, Stadion Lecha, Poznań. Capacity 42,837, Lech, Poznań. The revamp of Lech's venue was carried out in phases between 2003 and 2010. All 4 stands are covered by a heavy steel structure covered with membrane. During works, the concept changed many times, which resulted in the stadium having differing stands. The north one has 2 tiers and the opposite one has 3. Side sections are also double-tiered, but of much larger scale than in the north. It was the first Polish stadium completed for Euro 2012, during which 3 group stage games were played in Poznań. First place, Stadion Śląska, Wrocław. Capacity 45,105, Śląsk, Wrocław. At the time of completion, it was the largest modern venue in Europe with single-tier stands. Its facade is unique and it consists of a Teflon-coated glass fiber membrane, the largest of its kind. There are 2 large screens, but the largest potential screen is the facade, on which you can successfully project static and moving images, not to mention traditional evening illumination. Outside, a huge esplanade was built with multi-story car parks. It raises almost 5.5 meters above ground level and the stadium's highest point is at nearly 40 meters. The facility hosted 3 matches of the group stage of Euro 2012. This is the end of our ranking. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. What is your favorite Ekstraklasa stadium? And what do you think about stadiums of the Polish League? Please leave a comment in the section below. See you next time.